Hey guys, this is KPikklefield from Patriot Warrior Media, and this is Behind Enemy Lines, the Antifa Project. And I'm making this video because I think my ability to go behind enemy lines is going to be seriously affected, maybe even completely stopped. Recently I was doxxed. My picture got up on It's Going Down website, and then when I went to the Eric Clanton 2.0 in Oakland, California to report to you guys and record the progress on Eric's saga, found that my picture was plastered all over Oakland on posters in living color, 8.5 by 11. So I'm out there. So my effectiveness behind enemy lines is probably ending, so I'm just going to say it. This is Keith from Patriot Warrior Media, and this is Behind Enemy Lines, the Antifa Project. I know a lot of you have a perception that Antifa are these, beta males, a lot of women fighting for them, and they're pussies and need 10 people to attack one patriot. That whole thing. I've seen your comments, thousands of comments, and I know how you guys think about Antifa, and they are not all like that. So I am going to read to you an excerpt from somebody that was behind enemy lines in deep cover for the Oath Keepers, and I think this is going to change your perception of who they are, of the enemy we're up against, and the enemy that we are going to have to continue to battle that is not likely to go away. They are more of a problem than I think you guys imagine, so listen up. As many of you know, Oath Keepers initiated Operation Hypo in response to the increasingly violent protests that broke out across the country following the election. We had some members already in position to quickly infiltrate the protest organizations that were in support of Operation Sabo. I myself assumed an identity of an individual from another state with all the necessary elements to ensure success of my assigned responsibilities. Working during the day, I would travel by night to meetings and protests in various cities. Most weekends were consumed with assimilating reports from other operatives, grooming equipment, and planning our activities. Our entire team had immense support from Oath Keepers' senior leadership. In my case, it took quite a while to become accepted into the groups that I was responsible for observing. I think a lot of this was because I was a bit older than our other operatives. I dyed my hair and bought clothing appropriate for the assignment. By actually participating in a large number of protest activities, I was eventually recruited into a series of organizations with increasing levels of responsibility. It took a month of steady involvement before any of the really hardcore group leaders would even talk to me. My military and post-active Department of Defense experience was extremely valuable. I learned to behave as they behave and to trigger on appropriate issues. I also learned that the brainwashing that moves people into these organizations is mostly external to the organizations themselves. People joining are brainwashed by numerous sources before they even participate in their first protest or direct action. The mainstream media, colleges and universities, social media, leftist alternative news organizations are the primary sources of the initial brainwashing that is taking place. The radicalization process is unique to each person, but generally follows a pattern of being very rapid for those with little or no responsibilities in their daily life, to long and laborious for those with real life outside the movement. Young, underemployed, single white males are the vanguard of these movements. In order to gain trust, we found that the best thing to do was to be aloof and skeptical with regard to these plans and activities, and to be independent and outspoken when plans were being discussed in our presence. Most of the details associated with direct actions were not discussed with anyone other than a group of the individuals assigned to carry out a specific task. In the groups that I was assigned to penetrate, there were plenty of blowhards thumping their chests about something they had done that demonstrated their skill and ability to participate or lead. Most of this was hyperbole, but the newer members would eat it up like young soldiers listening to the inflated heroics of a platoon member that had only been with the unit a month longer than them. We all know the type. While most of our operatives started and stayed with one specific group, I was unable to initially penetrate the group I was responsible for infiltrating. I had to work my way up the ladder, moving from one group to another in order to achieve my objective. In my migration from group to group, I found that political ideology was a significant factor in the determination of what types of activities the groups would sponsor, ranging from sit-ins to marches to direct action. I can broadly classify these ideologies as liberal socialists, communists, and anarchists. The liberal socialists are primarily coming out of your higher education system. They are comprised of professors, students, and underemployed graduates. They are primarily white and roughly equal split between male and female. They are not militant. They are willing to conduct blockades, marches, and sit-ins. Communists are a much broader spectrum of that society with a strong leaning towards immigration issues. The communists actively recruit from a wide pool of candidates, including liberal socialists, the LGBT plus community, the environmental activists, and the anti-white racist groups like Black Lives Matter, La Raza, Islamic fundamentalists, etc. They have a significant number of minorities within their ranks, and they are militant in their operations and planning. The communists encourage independent action of their members to assimilate members from groups like Black Lives Matter, La Raza, and other less militant organizations like Answer Coalition. They have no ethical boundaries. To communists, the end always justifies the means. They will do everything that the liberal socialists do in order to protest an issue and always take it one step further. They are not inclined to conduct direct actions. Anarchists are by far the most dangerous of these groups. They are organized like militia. They actively train and practice their operations. They have discipline and zero tolerance for weakness. They have a number of former military personnel providing expertise to enhance security, logistics, and martial arts capabilities. The majority are physically fit, military-aged males. They are primarily white with few minority members. Their leadership tends to be either former military, a proven leader from the Occupy movement, or a highly educated alpha male. They are far more capable than their recent activities would demonstrate. They have formed community defense organizations and are idolized for their willingness to take action from the other groups discussed above. They are, however, anarchists that despise communism as much as they despise capitalism. They see patriots and constitutionalists as their primary enemy. To them, everyone is a Nazi or a fascist unless they are an anarchist. There is no debate allowed on these issues ever. They operate under various names, but the vast majority identify with the anti-fascist movement. With the election of President Trump, their membership has increased exponentially. There are at least 50,000 nationwide. They have been able to assimilate much of the Occupy and Black Bloc movements. Most of what these organizations accomplish are classified as direct actions. They will participate in a protest or march, but they are not big fans of passive resistance. For those of you that are not familiar with the term direct action, these are very precise, coordinated operations conducted by small groups of 4 to 6 members that have very specific unit and overall goals. The planned smoke bombing of the Inauguration Ball is a good example of a direct action. Our team foiled this operation. We informed the D.C. Police Department, the National Press Club, and the Inauguration Ball security team leaders of these plans on January 9, 2017. Direct targeting of individuals and businesses are common direct action activities for anti-fascists. Destruction of property, like burning your car, damaging your house, busting windows out where you work, etc., are direct actions against targeted individuals of these groups. Ask James O'Keefe from Project Veritas or Milo Yiannopoulos from Breitbart News. They are both now having to deal with this. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there as far as reading to you what he has said, but I think that should give you an idea as far as what the different types of Antifa are. Another example of direct action. Again, this was months ago that this was written, but another example of direct action was the attacks at UC Berkeley when they shut down the Milo Yiannopoulos talks. There was quite a few people there, quite a few people opposed to him speaking there, but it was about 100 or 150 anarchists that were given the job to actually go in there and smash the student union, smash the windows, things like that. So anyways, those are that's the Antifa.